Lovely stuff. Alright then guys, thanks for joining me again. You're back with OHMonster, and today not only have I got some new swag from Print Mighty, thanks guys, love your work, great t-shirt. We've got the Wismec Reuleaux RX200. Now I purchased this from hoopersvapor.co.nz and you can too. So let's take a look at it, shall we? Alright guys, so here we are up close with the Wismec Reuleaux RX200. Now this was designed by a guy called Jabo, but manufactured by a Chinese company, Wismec. So here's your box. Nice little spiel on the back about the chip, what it comes with, your authenticity sticker, and what colour you've got. Now I've got the black, and it does come with a white and a turquoisey type colour also. Right, so we'll have a look inside. Here's your mod, so put that to the side. So inside here you get your manual, which is always good. And with this little panel you get USB cable, which again, always nice for firmware and for charging. Alright, let's take a look at the mod. Alright guys, so here's the mod itself. And the first thing you'll probably notice is Jabo engraved into the fire button, which is nice. Your screen, your down button, your up button, and your USB port. Now on the side you've got these 3 vent holes on each side. Now that's not for battery venting, so don't worry about it firing into your hand. It's for cooling down the chip, for letting the heat expel from the chip, as these 200 watt chips do get a little bit hot, especially run in higher wattage. Alright, so on the bottom you do have your battery venting, so you've got 20 battery vent holes here, 4 groups of 5. Just about see the Reuleaux logo and Reuleaux RX200, and yeah, can't quite make out what the rest of that says. But on the top you've got your spring-loaded 510 with your juice catch and the Reuleaux logo again, just there. Now on the back you've got this lovely textured finish to the battery door. Almost feels like rubber, but it's not. It's just a lovely textured metal. Now for the battery door itself, you do get these little sort of nail grooves to get the battery door off. I found it quite fiddly to get the battery door off by digging your nails in there, so I just grip the back, pull, easy as. Alright, so you've got 4 magnets, 2 at top, 2 at the bottom, and again that lovely textured finish to the battery door. And inside here you have 3 18650 batteries. It doesn't come with the batteries obviously, this is just a cradle for them, so you've got positive, positive, negative, negative, and negative, positive. Now you probably noticed that there's nothing stopping you from putting the batteries in the wrong way around in this, but it does have reverse polarity protection on this mod, so if you do put them in the wrong way around, it won't turn on, it won't fire, so you're all safe there. Now when it comes to the 3 18650s for this mod, I would highly recommend that you get 3 and only use those 3 for this mod. So you marry them up, they charge together, they drain together, and they are just purely for this mod. That way you don't get any fluctuations in voltage between the batteries, and yeah, it's just a lot better when you've got any mod really that takes 18650s to just marry them up and only use them for that mod. Alright, so we click that back in. It's nice, the magnets on these are lovely, slots perfectly into place, it doesn't come off nicely. Now tiny bit of button rattle from these 2, but fuck, you really got to rattle it around to even hear it. Nice sturdy mod. And to add to that, you'll see this little mark here. It didn't come with that mark. Took this to the office Christmas party, as you do, passing it around to the smokers, and one of them dropped it, hit the deck, batteries just fucking blew out, everything, bent the 510 on my crown tank, so that sits as a nice leaning tower of crown at the minute. But hey, this mod, it's not even dented, that's just the paint that's scratched, that's not any damage to the mod itself, and it still works perfectly, fully intact, and that was dropped from about, I don't know, 5 feet onto solid concrete. It still works perfectly, so a nice solid robust mod, perfect. Alright, so I'm going to take you through some of the chip settings on here. So I'll just throw a tank on here for the second, because some of them don't work without a tank or an atomizer on. Alright, so here we are with the chip, guys. So for majority of regulated mods out there to turn it off. It's the same 5 clicks. Off, on. Cool. Alright, so obviously your up and down buttons to change your wattage. Now this does change up in points, but if you hold it down, it'll gradually speed up and then get ridiculously quick. So that's a nice feature. It's a lot better than the DNA 200 scaling for wattage. I find the DNA 200 goes through the wattage a bit quickly and you end up having to go backwards and forwards, where this one's actually got a nice sort of ramp up. Alright, so to take this into stealth mode, alright, you would hold your fire button and your down button. Takes you into stealth mode, and what that means is now when you fire the mod, it doesn't light up. Now I don't get stealth mode too much, if I'm honest. So if you don't want people to see you vaping, you're not going to get something this big, right? But yeah, for those of you who, I suppose it would save on battery life a tiny wee bit, but anyway, I don't use it, but you can if you want to. Turn it back off, do the same thing. Now, there's also a cool feature on this as well, where you can lock your wattage in. So if you hold the up and the down button together, you lock your mod. Now you can still fire it, but you can't change your wattage. So you can't accidentally change your wattage in your pocket or with your finger and end up with a really cool or a really hot vape. You're stuck. It won't move. Awesome. So to unlock again, just hold those down again and we're unlocked. Now this mod does have 10-second draw protection on it, so if you do throw it in your pocket or in your bag and for some reason the fire button gets held down and the mod's not off, then it will only fire for 10 seconds and no longer than that, which is a cool little feature. Now you can also switch this screen around. So to do that, you turn the mod off first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you hold your up and down button again. Now switch the display upside down or the right way around, depending if you're a lefty or a righty, I suppose. And there we go, we're back again. So we'll go back into it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're back. All right then guys, so I'll go and I'll throw a temp control tank on here as well, and I'll take you through the temp control settings. All right, so I've thrown the Smock TCT tank on here, which is still one of my favorite temp control tanks, if I'm completely honest with you. But to switch into temp control, you press the fire button 3 times. So 1, 2, 3 will take you into nickel mode. 1, 2, 3 take you into titanium mode, and 1, 2, 3 will take you into stainless steel mode, and 1, 2, 3 will take you back into wattage mode. Alright, so since this is a nickel coil, 1, 2, 3, we're in nickel. Now you'll see this little padlock on here. That's because I've locked the resistance in for this nickel coil. Now how you do that is you hold the fire button and the up button together. As you'll see, the ohm symbols return, so that's unlocked. Now the reason for this is when you throw any temp control device on a mod, you want to throw it on there at room temperature, so it's just normal standing temperature, let it read it, and then lock it in. So fire and up will lock that coil in. Awesome. Alright, so you'll notice here's your temperature. So with all the settings, with nickel, titanium and stainless steel, you can fire down on Fahrenheit or on centigrade. So yep, it does go up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit and 315 degrees Celsius. Why? I don't know, because you're just going to get a burnt hit at that temperature. As cotton's combustion temperature is about 420 and dry. So yeah, 600 is just ridiculous. But you'll notice you've obviously got your wattage in there as well. Now when you first open this mod, power it up, its temp control is defaulted at 200 watts. Personally, I think that's a bit extreme for temp control, as if you're firing 200 watts into a coil, it's going to go above the temperature you've set it and then go down, when the whole point of temp control would be to gradually reach that temperature and hold it. So to change the wattage, you're in temp control and you just hit the fire button 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll switch around. So you've got your temperature there and your wattage here, and you can just change your wattage. Now my sweet spot for wattage is 80 to 85 watts. I just find it creeps you up to the your desired temperature nice and quickly without jumping above it and then having to cool down. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the temp control mode on here. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go out and I'm going to do a dry burn test for nickel and stainless steel, because I don't have any titanium. I don't use titanium. I don't really use nickel, but I got it for the purpose of this review, but I'll explain why a little bit later. But yeah, we'll go into the cotton burn test. Alright, so we'll start off with a stainless steel 24 gauge 7-wrap spaced coil. Now, we've got this in stainless steel mode with the resistance locked in. So we'll start with 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Dry cotton combustion temperature is around 420. So hopefully, if this is going right, then it will not burn the cotton at 400. So we'll give it a go. Alright, so we've got a slight wisp. Slight singeing, but that's nowhere near a burnt dry hit. That's cool, that's fine. Be expected on dry cotton, to be honest. So we'll go up to 420, bring it to temperature. So a little darker with the singeing, but again, nowhere near a dry hit. So that's very good. So we'll go to 450, fire it to temperature. Alright. Getting a bit darker now, you might just start to taste that. Alright, so we'll crank it to 470, fire it to temperature. And yeah, that's just about a dry hit, you definitely taste that. And then obviously we'll take it to the extremes. Temp protection, burn. Alright, cool. So that seems to be pretty accurate for stainless steel, which is pretty good. So we'll go on to nickel. Alright guys, so here we go with the nickel. So this is 26 gauge, I believe. It's a spaced 7-wrap. Not exactly, that's why I hate using nickel. It's just such a flimsy wire. Putting cotton in it rags it all over the place. But anyway, so we're in nickel mode, so we'll definitely take that back down to 400 degrees and we'll do the burn test for nickel mode. Alright, so 400. Take it to temperature. Again, barely any, not even any singeing. There was a little bit of a wisp, but no singeing of the cotton at all. Alright, take it to 420. Yeah, again, very, very slight discoloration on that. Get to 450. Alright, starting to get a little bit of a singe there now, but nothing is going to affect your vape. Take it to 480. Alright, visible singeing now, but again, still not a dry hit. 500. Still just a singe, still not a dry hit yet. Strange. Alright. Just about taste that. Alright. Let's get silly on this thing, shall we? Alright. Yeah, that's a dry hit. You're going to taste that. Alright, cool. So, seems as though nickel mode on the RX200 is a bit off. That should have burnt the cotton at around 470, 480, not 550. So the temperature in nickel control is a little bit off, but still protecting you. Still not going to set fire to the cotton. So, excellent. Alright, so in wattage mode, you can fire down to 0.1 and fire up to 3.5. in wattage mode, but for temp control mode you will be firing down to 0.05 and firing up to 1 ohm, and that's in nickel mode, titanium mode, and stainless steel mode. Alright guys, so that's the mod up close. Let's go out and have a chat about it, shall we? Lovely stuff. Alright guys, so we've just been up close with the Wismec Reuleaux RX200. Now I love this thing. So comfortable to hold, so reliable, battery life for days, nice and heavy. I find that a pro, some might find it a con, but a fantastic piece of kit. A fantastic piece of kit. Now, like I said, robust. Like, I dropped this. Like I said in the close-up, it got dropped. I didn't drop it, it got dropped. So I was at the office Christmas party the other weekend and passing it around the smokers. They're having a toke, having a cough, I'm having a laugh. And one of them dropped it in their drunken state. Now, these are heavy, right? So, and it just hit the deck on concrete. Battery door blew off, batteries flew everywhere. And it was like, no. But it's fine. Fuck, it's fine. All it's got is a little bit of scuffing on the paintwork here, and that's it. Pop the batteries back in, it kicked into gear just like nothing had ever happened. Wow. Right? No damage to the mod itself, just the paintwork. I mean, the biggest victim of that was my crown tank. So I don't know if you can see that it's on the piss that way a wee bit, but the 510 pin on this is bent, but it still fits. Anyway, the mod survived brilliantly, bounced from about 5 feet on concrete. Excellent. What more can you ask for? So, we'll go into pros and cons. So, cons. Tiny, I'm really after to nitpick about this because it's a fantastic mod, but you know, people look for cons. So there's a tiny bit of button rattle, fucking tiny. Who cares? These buttons wiggle a little bit. If that bothers you, then whatever. Battery charging through the USB port is slow, but I don't think it's really designed to be fully charged through the USB port. I think what they've done with this allowing USB pass-through is just to give it an extra pump of power if you're running a bit low and you're out and about, you're in your car and you've got a car charger, or you're out and about because you can't carry your battery charger with you all the time, but you've just got the ability to give that a little extra boost so you're not having a dead mod. So that's a really good idea, but it is slow, so don't rely on the USB charging on this. Temp control seems to be a bit off with nickel. Stainless steel seems to be spot on. Nickel seems to not be reading temperature correctly. Like you saw in the cotton burn test, I had to go way above what should burn cotton to burn the cotton in nickel mode. Now I don't know what it's like in titanium. Like I said, I don't use titanium. I very rarely use nickel. Now the reason for that is titanium and nickel oxide. Horrible stuff. And that's one of the reasons why you should space your nickel coils and your titanium coils so you don't have to work any hotspots out. In order to work hotspots out, it has to get red to nearly white hot. And that's when nickel oxide and titanium oxide starts to form on the wire, and that stuff's not very nice. So I'd rather just stay away from anything that produces anything that's it's not the only wire that's out there. Like now they're doing stainless steel and temperature control, perfect. You know, but nickel and titanium, that's just me. I like to stay away from it, and that's the reason I don't use it. So back to the mod. Pros, everything. As far as I'm concerned, the chip in here, the RX200 chip, brilliant chip, brilliant, and nice and affordable. Like I think the DNA 200 version of this was pushing $300 in New Zealand. Just for the chip, like the mod itself was almost exactly the same, apart from a couple little sort of different details. Like I think DNA 200 had some little lips in the positive connections on the batteries, so you couldn't actually, if you put them in the wrong way around, the negative wouldn't make a connection, but the RX200 has the reverse battery polarity protection, so it doesn't matter if it goes the wrong way around, it's not going to fire. So build quality of this is outstanding. Like I said, dropped, smashed everywhere, put back together, fired up like it never happened. Brilliant. The shape and the weight of this, I love the weight. That might be a con for some people because it is a bit heavy, but it just feels like I've got a really good quality piece of kit in my hand. Weight to me equals quality. But yeah, this has just been reliable since the day I powered it up and started vaping on it. This is now my all-day go-to. It used to be the VT200. I still do use the VT200, but that's now our backup for when this is dead. So, like I said, With the batteries, make sure you marry them up just for battery safety. That's it. But other than that, this thing looks after itself brilliantly. So highly recommend this, guys. Fantastic mod. You can pick this up from Hooper's Vapor. As always, I'll leave a link in the description below for not only the mod itself, but for everything you've seen in this video, coils, tanks, everything. It'll be down below. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. So again, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll catch you later. Frag out!